Hey, welcome to Craig Walker Coaching. This is your home for winning over paralyzing self-doubt, and this is where you learn to live the life that you were born to love. Thanks for joining me today. I think you're going to really enjoy the talk that I have for you today. I want to talk to you about something that may be holding you back from achieving your full potential. Let me just tell you, if you like the talk today, make sure that you click like, leave a comment down below, and then always ring the bell to make sure that you're notified of the next video when it's posted, as soon as it's posted. Today I want to talk to you about, well, that subject of your self-image. It just may be, this is the thing that's holding you back from living, well, the way God created you to live and achieving all that God created you to do. Your self-image is what we're dealing with. How do you see yourself? My bet is that you don't see yourself the way God sees you. God sees you as an incredible individual with amazing and untold potential. Listen, God thinks that you can walk on water. After years and thousands of hours of working with people, I've come to the conclusion that, well, few people see themselves or believe in themselves the way God believes in us. God believes in us far more than we believe in ourselves. Even those so-called overachievers, often they don't see themselves or view themselves as highly as God does. But what if we could change all that? What if we could learn to see ourselves the way God actually sees us? Now, this, my friend, seeing yourself as God sees you, that's a game changer. That's how you learn to reach your full potential and to live that full and satisfying life that God created you to live. The first step, here it is. I'm giving it to you. This is the first step. If you take my course, you'll get all the steps and all the stuff underneath it that helps fill in the blanks so that you can really get it and experience this change. Today I want to introduce you to the first step, and it's confess denial. Denial is that belief that, no, I'm not all that God says I am. It's failing to see yourself the way God sees you. If you don't believe you are an amazing individual with untold potential, then you are living in denial. I don't care what's happened to you, what you've done, what's gone on in the past, or what's going on right now. It doesn't matter. You are an amazing individual with untold potential. Now, if you're one of those people that just said, "Oh no, not me. I don't have a low self-image," don't be too sure. Let me ask you to hear me out. Hear me out before you check me out, okay? Before you check out this thing, click and go away. Hear what I have to say. I was one of those people that, well, when someone suggested that I had a low self-image, perhaps maybe was insecure, I was offended. I immediately began to mentally prepare my argument, my case to why they were wrong, why I didn't have a low self-image. I was confident. I was bold. I had a ton of faith. You know, I've done things, honestly. You can ask anyone that knows me, and you may know this yourself already. I've done a ton of things that other people probably never do. I've quit jobs, left pay, and taken my family across states to plant churches for God with no guaranteed income at all, and saw God provide for us. I thought, low self-image? Good night. What does it take to have a strong self-image for some people? So I knew that wasn't me. I was secure. I was grounded in Christ. I had a lot of admirable qualities. I wasn't a bragger, and I didn't feel like I had anything to prove to anybody. I accepted who I was. Sure, there were those things that I didn't like about myself, but hey, I learned to live with those things. And by the way, don't we all have, those things that we don't like about ourselves? So who could say I had a low self-image, a low self-esteem? And pretty much, if you'd have talked to anyone that I knew, they'd all tell you, except for this one person that was wrong, that I was a confident individual. Not cocky. Well, some might have said that, but at least confident. I know some of you are listening to this talk that, well, you're probably more like my wife. When Debbie struggled with her self-image, she readily admitted, I know I have a low self-esteem. I know I'm insecure. But some of you are more like me. You would never think or even believe that you have low self-esteem. In fact, most of the people you know that describe you, if I were to talk to your friends like you were to talk to mine, they'd probably tell me that you're bold, you're confident, and you're courageous. But listen, that does not mean that you don't have a low self-image. What that could mean is that you don't recognize the signs. So here's what I want to do. I want everybody to tune in, and I want to give you 10 signs. These are kind of my top 10. There are hundreds of signs, but this is kind of my top 10 signs that would catch anybody that has a low self-image. And then I'm going to give you a bonus sign, and if you make it through the first 10, I doubt you're going to make it through number 10. But we'll check it out anyway. Let's see. So here we go. What are the 10 signs plus one that kind of point out to us that we have a low self-image? Now let me ask you to do something before I start. Open a Word document or grab a pen and a paper, and I want you to write down this list. As we're going through it, just pause and write it in. Make sure you don't miss any, and make sure you understand what it looks like. And then when we're all done, I want you to go through, or maybe you can do this while we're going through it, put a check mark by every sign, well, that you can say, well, that could be me. I can identify with that one. Maybe you're going to find just a few, maybe none. Praise God if that's the case. So you ready? Let's go through the list right now. 10 plus 1 signs that we have a little problem, or maybe a great problem, with our self-image. So here's number 1. You ready? Lacking confidence. You tend to stand back. You don't like to make decisions. You may even come off as shy to some people. Here's number 2. Feeling powerless. Sometimes you just feel stuck. You think you have no good options. There's A, B, and C. None of the above is what you want to pick. D. You ignore problems because, well, you secretly think, what's the use? I can't change anything. Here's 3. Poor communication. You find it hard to express yourself, your ideas. You find it difficult to ask questions, to share your feelings, to push an agenda, or even to have an agenda. People around you, they may complain that they don't really know you. You don't let them get behind the eyes to know what's really going on inside your life. Number 4, negative self-talk. You secretly feel like a failure or that something's wrong with you. You might have even voiced this feeling to others. And I know that I've told you I didn't think I had a low self-image, but I know I'd done this. If I'd done this once, I've done it 1,000 times. I've told my wife this: honey, you married a moron. That's what I believed. I thought I wasn't smart enough. What negative things do you say about yourself? Do you think I'm ugly? Do you say that? Do you say I'm undisciplined? I'm weak? I'm fat? I'm lazy? Listen to this. Pay attention to your negative I am statements. They're very revealing. Here's number 5, fear of failure. Now, the fear of failure, it has 2 faces. Both faces have the same motivation, fear. They just have different manifestations. We kind of associate this one more with a low self-image, and that's apathy. You just don't try. You seem unmotivated. You may even think that you're lazy. Others may even think you're lazy. And then the other face is just the opposite. Where one is apathy and stays back, the other one is drivenness. Drivenness, did you know it can even show up as perfectionism? But both faces, apathy and drivenness, they're motivated by the same thing, fear. The fear of being thought of as weak or being found or labeled as incompetent. That's a fear. How about number 6? Number 6 is people pleasing. Do you struggle with that? An inability to say no, finding yourself doing what others want more than what you want or think is right or even best. You find yourself overcommitting, stressed out with this long to-do list because you just didn't know how to say no. Overcommitting. 7, combative, argumentative. You may appear to be confident to some, but rather than being a strength for you, your combative and strong stance is really a fear-driven desire to be right. And then number 8 is blaming. Blaming has been described as a way of discharging pain and discomfort. Failure to take ownership and responsibility. You blame. 9 is excuse making. Hey, be careful if this is one of yours, because people that are good excuse makers are rarely good at anything else. Ouch. It's true. The better you become at making excuses, the worse you become at everything else. Number 10, judging others. Now, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but judging others was one of my real and obvious flaws. Other people, to me, were idiots and they were stupid. Listen, judging is what we do when we feel secure. This was so painful for me to learn, but judging others is what we do when we're insecure. When we feel secure about ourselves, we don't worry about other people, and we sure don't worry about judging people. If I'm really confident in my parenting skills or my work skills, I'll never complain about anybody else or judge them or even gossip about them. I won't do that. But let me feel a little insecure, and all of a sudden I'm talking about, I can't believe they left their child dressed like that. I can't believe how late they let her stay out. And I can't believe that what they let their kids do. And all of a sudden I become a little judgmental. You probably do that too. So pay attention. Is being judgmental one of your problems? By the way, let me just tell you, gossiping falls under this heading. We tend to be too vocal when we're judgmental of other people and we're insecure. So that's a real sign for us. Now then, I want to give you the bonus. You ready for it? You don't love yourself. You don't love the person that God created you to be. Really, you lack the freedom. You think you lack the freedom to be yourself. You think, oh, if I could be more like them, or if I could be like this, and if I could just be that or like her. Sometimes you come off as pretentious. You pretend. You laugh because other people laugh. Even when you didn't think the joke was funny, or maybe you didn't even understand it. You laughed anyway. You hold back from asking that question that you wanted to ask, or from sharing that opinion that you thought you should have shared. You look around at others to find out, well, what do they like? What do they want? What are they into? So that you can like it and want it and be into it, or not like it as they don't. You know what I mean? But here's the question. What do you really want? What are your desires? What are your dreams? What are your passions? What did God place inside of you that only you have? Now, let me just suggest that you take a minute, and there's all 11, and you go back over the signs, and let me warn you. Let me give you a good warning here. Don't take this little quiz and compare yourself to others like, well, I do a little bit. I'm not as bad as them, so no, I don't have that problem. No. Compare yourself to yourself. Compared to your select group, you may be just fine, but how do you do when you compare yourself to your true feelings? You see, when I got honest with my feelings, I realized that I thought something was wrong with me, or something was missing, or something was broken, or something was so deeply ingrained in me that I just couldn't change. You may even feel unworthy of love and acceptance. And let me just tell you, in my course, Truly a Masterpiece, I spend 2 whole sessions on this, trying to help you get to the bottom, because you'll never know, you'll never recognize and achieve your true potential until you understand that you're in denial about what it really is. I'm telling you, God thinks way more of you. I really know that. God thinks way more of you than you think of yourself. See, this thing we're talking about here, this low self-image, it's a universal problem. It came into our lives ever since the fall of Adam and Eve, and we've been struggling with this. And just because we got saved didn't make us automatically get over it. We've got to deal with this. My course, Truly a Masterpiece, I'll help you deal with this. I'll walk you through denial and confession for a couple of weeks until you really see, oh my, that's not how I see myself, but this really is. When you do that, you're in a great place to take the next step to really begin to recognize and begin to achieve your potential. Listen, I hope this talk's been helpful for you. If it has, again, make sure you click the like button. Leave a comment down below, and you know what, there's a link for Truly a Masterpiece for the course. It's in the notes down below. I would encourage you to go there, click the link, follow it, and sign up for the course, or at least get more information. I'd love to have you there. Well, that's all I've got for this week. Until next time, may God help you to live the life that you were born to love.